All right, so let's go to VS Code. Let's go inside the sections directory and let's create a file. Let's give it a name. Let's call it featured collection. That's liquid. So it's going to be the same process. We're going to create, first of all, the markup. So let me do that. So let's call it section. And let me just write a title as a featured collection. So next, I'm going to add the schema. So the schema will take a name attribute. So let's call it featured collection. So I'm going to give it a class if you want to. So it could be featured underscore collection. And I'm going to give it a blocks for now. I will leave it empty. I'm going to give it a settings attribute. I will leave it also empty. And I will give it a disable on because we don't want it to be appearing on the group, either the header, either the footer as well. So let's add it, and let's add the tag. We can set it to be a section. We can also add what, well, I think for now we can add directly a preset. So inside the presets, and remember the preset is going to help us to add this section inside our code editor, and then it's going to help us to even delete it or even to reorder that. So we're going to give it an attribute of name, and the name is going to be like what we have on top. So featured collection. So featured collection, and we're going to give it some settings here, maybe some blocks here, and let's save it. So if I go back now to my theme editor right here, and I reload the page, when I come to click on add section and I look for featured collection, it is right here, and I can add it, and we're gonna see this text we just added, which is featured collection, and I can save it. So now we are good to start to add. So we have our text here, which is appearing as well here. Okay, if I reload the page, it's going to be here as well. Okay, so let's go and implement the design. All right, so let's start with the HTML. So let's go back to our VS Code. Let's implement that. So I will first of all create a div container. So let me add a div here, and I will add some comments here. Let's say it's going to be heading and description and icons, something like this. And this one is going to be card images. Let's say just cards. And here I'm going to add the first div. They're going to grab all the title and the icon. And I'm going to have the first div here. They're going to grab only the heading and the description. So let me add this comment here. So here, let's give it some h3. Let's call it heading, and we're gonna have some p tag here. Okay, something happened. Okay, all right. So, and then we're going to have another comment here just for you to follow along easily. And this one is going to be icons. So let's write here icons. Is going to be a div, and inside we're gonna have to span for these two icons. It's going to be to span here. So we come here, I'm gonna add this render on the first one and on the second one. So let's first save it and let's see how it's going to look. So if I reload, okay, we have the heading, but we don't see the icons. So let's go give the icon some color. So the color here, let's give it to be black. Let's give the second one also a color of black. Let me save it. Let's go double check. Still not coming because we need to give now the size. Let's say here 24 and 24 as well. Let's save it and let's go double check, and there we go. Okay, so we have our icons appearing right here. All right, so let's go back and continue our HTML structure. So we done with the heading, description, and icons. So let's reduce this div and let's start with the card. So in the card, I'm gonna give it one div that's gonna hold like all the card. So let me add a comment here. So this is going to be our one card. So inside we're gonna have a div which is going to represent one card. And inside, we're going to have, let's say, a div, another div that's going to hold an image. Okay, so for now, I will just leave it as a placeholder. And just below, or you know what, maybe I will place the image directly. Okay, so let's place the image directly like this. And we're gonna have a span, yeah, let's say an H5. Okay, that's going to be just a text. Okay, so let's say like some name here. All right, so this is going to be our card like this. Let's go and add some tailwind in it.